Welcome to the Grains Table Podcast, the only podcast where being a former addict gets you the job.
Yeah. Here we are, yet again. We've made some progress on the set. It's starting to look a little more like, I don't know.
Not a garage.
Not a garage. This episode's going to be a little bit different. We went on location to Gallatin to the No Kings protest up there. As you're going to see from these interviews, all I did here was ask questions. And I want to strongly say that the opinions reflected in some of these aren't necessarily our ideals or our opinions.
And that goes for either side.
Yeah. We did interview a couple from each side that you'll see. And I will say that some interviews, even from people on the left, they had some points that I could find common ground with. But I didn't push back. All I did was ask questions. If they said something that was factually not true, I didn't contest that. You've got to realize we went in there alone into a mass of people. So I think going in there just to get a hot take or a viral clip or something would have done nobody any good.
Exactly. And one thing I do want to comment on is everyone there, except for one instance, was extremely respectful no matter what side they were on.
Yeah.
It was, even though it was an environment with energy and excitement, it did not feel hostile in any way.
No, I never felt any kind of threat. I never felt like I was in any kind of danger.
Absolutely, which having our guy with us helps. But
yeah, shout out to my security dude. You'd have to be a brave soul if you think you're going to walk up and mess with me while he's standing there.
It makes you look little.
Yeah. But so I say, no more lollygagging. We'll just jump right into it. See y'all next week.
See y'all at the table.
This is Chad Argo. We're live on the courthouse of Sumner County, Tennessee, at the No Kings protest. We're going to go into the crowd right here and see if we can just have some conversations with people and see how it goes. I don't want to argue. I don't want to debate. I just want to have conversations and understand their side. Let's see what happens. We're here with, your first name?
Judy.
With Judy at the No Kings rally here in Gallatin. What does this mean to you?
This means these people are standing up for their rights as Americans. We're all patriotic. We all love our country. And we want things to turn around from the direction they're going in right now, which is towards authoritarianism and against the rule of law. And I don't want a dictator in our country.
Why do you feel that things are going that way?
Because the courts are supporting issues that give immunity to people who are doing things that are not by the rule of law in our Constitution.
What do you think? America as a whole is extremely divided right now.
Right.
My want in this is to try to have conversations with people to try to figure out how we can bridge that divide some.
Yeah.
What do you personally think would be good steps in the correct direction towards us coming back together?
I feel like, number one, Americans need to exercise their right to vote. Too many Americans do not vote, and I don't know why. If it was up to me, it would be mandatory to vote as part of your citizenship. We're all afraid to speak out. And I'm 77. I'm afraid to be here, but I'm here for my children, for my grandchildren, for my country. And I just fear for what's ahead.
Thank you so much for your time. Hey, you guys see it right there. All this takes is going and sitting down and having some conversations with people, standing and having them, what have you. Let's try to figure out how we can come together, see where the other person's mindset's at. Agree or not, sit at the kitchen table and talk about things. Because I really feel like our country is at a huge divide. I feel like everybody feels that it's at a divide, but nobody has an answer on how we close that divide. Does that make sense? I noticed that you guys were on the opposite side of the street counter protesting. I'm trying to be careful choosing my words here. I think that the no kings policy is silly myself. I don't feel like Trump is trying to be a king, and I tried to research last night and understand where they're coming from, and I can't really see it, but I didn't want to go in there and have gotchas and debates with them. I just wanted to have conversations with them, essentially. What do you guys think that we need to try to do to close the divide that we see, or is there a way?
So you want to go first, Janice?
I don't know if there's a way to close the divide at the moment, because I personally feel like sometimes the divide is good versus evil, and we're called to stand up against evil. And so to that end, I'm not really sure how to close it other than reaching people for God and having hearts change. That's my suggestion.
So Janet's absolutely right, but let me look at it from a Charlie Kirk perspective. I think Charlie Kirk did a great job of bridging the divide, of really bringing polar opposites in and just saying, okay, let's talk about this. Let's really unpack it. I think if you unpack a lot of, even the sides, the whole idea of no kings, we are a constitutional republic. Just to your point, Trump won the popular vote. He won he just killed the Electoral College. Every state except one shifted at least 10 points to the right. There was nothing illegitimate about the election at all. And so I think you're in a place where people on the ground like us, who are not necessarily motivated by legacy media and those types of things, can see things a little bit more clearly. I think of it as, what do you think about America? What is it that America has done that's so heinous? You're looking at it from the perspective that the glass is half full. I'd like to challenge you to look at it, not just that it's half empty. I would say I'm looking at it that it's overflowing. We're not a perfect nation, but we're a great nation. I'm standing here talking to you. I'm not an oppressed black female. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't need reparations. You were chanting a Black Panther, kind of thing, and I didn't see people of color on that side at all. I saw progressive, older white females, and just people who don't care for America. They don't care for the traditional values. They don't care for the things that these small towns like Gallatin care about. Like Charlie Kirk said, get married, have a family, have kids, be a productive person in society. Love your God. We love our God and we love our country. We're here because we love the country. We love America. So we see the best of America. It's not perfect, but we see the best in America. And you have a side that's basically saying that there's nothing good about America. And to Janet's point, it's hard to connect that dot, because in reality, it's not true. I can go to a grocery store and it's fully stocked. I can drive in a car, put gas in my car. I can send my kids to a really good college. I don't need public assistance. It's a great time to be born here in America. Trump has closed the borders. I feel safe. Trump has imposed tariffs on countries that have been really charging us tariffs for over 80 years. He's just leveling the playing field. It's not free trade, it's fair trade. So all of those gaps are being closed. The tariff monies are actually being used to pay for the more impoverished Americans who depend on food stamps and things like that during the government shutdown. The Democrats aren't coming to work. They're shutting down. All those Americans and those disenfranchised people that you say you protect and you represent, you're throwing shade on them right now. You're not doing anything. You're getting paid and they're not. So we love the ability for every side to come to the table, but I think when you don't come to the table with an openness and a willingness to hear, you're going to tell me that I'm an oppressed black female. I'm the black female. I'm telling you I'm not oppressed. So ask me. You don't need to ask a progressive white female what my life's like or what my journey's been like. I don't need her to school me on it. I'm the person. And you're telling me how I feel. That day's done. So I love America. I love Gallatin. I love my God. I love my friends. And I am a huge Trump fan because of his policies, because of his fairness, and because he is the president of justice. Finally, we're seeing some justice. I love Trump. So that's it.
I don't even think that there's a follow-up question that I can ask. That was so beautifully and well said. I think I'll just end it with, sincerely, I thank you both for taking the time to stop and talk to us. We chased you down the block because we couldn't get across the street without jaywalking, and I'm not trying to get in trouble today, but genuinely, thank you both so very much. Remind me one more time of your names. Jan?
Jana.
Janet?
Jana, Jann. My name is Chris Gillespie.
Okay. We'll be on YouTube on Monday. This episode will air. It's called Granny's Table Podcast.
Okay, Granny's Table.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
we'll look for it.
all right.
Thanks, guys.
We have Eric Diller. We have Eric, and Eric, from what I can tell, you were in the Coast Guard. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So 7 years.
Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
What does this protest in particular mean to you personally?
This protest means, I'm sorry, I get a little emotional with this. I feel that our democracy is in danger right now. I feel that the current administration is abusing its rights, and that both our Congress and our Supreme Court are not upholding their responsibilities. I mean, plain and simple, the Congress has the responsibility of the purse. They should not be allowing the executive branch to dictate where our money is going and taking money away that's already been approved. Everything that I was taught as an American citizen, I'm a history major and a political science minor. Everything that I serve for, I feel is being eroded right now. And to me, that is terrifying.
So I want to ask you the same question I asked the last lady. The whole intent of our podcast is, I personally feel like all of us as a whole are in a huge divide right now. We all don't really see eye to eye on the way we should be going, and definitely not the way we are going. No matter who you talk to, I don't think you can find many people that are happy with the direction we're going at the moment, for different reasons, albeit. And so what we have tried to do and are wanting to do is just have conversation with people. I feel like if we don't talk to each other, that we're not going to see any kind of change. And if I can understand where you're coming from and you understand where I come from, maybe we could somehow find common ground inside of that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What do you think that needs to happen right now to start seeing change towards what you view as a better America?
Well, and first of all, I'll let you know a lot of my friends are Republicans, a lot of my neighbors are Republicans. And when I talk with them, if you just talk to them about what they want out of life, what they want for their kids, it's not that much different than what I want. We are not that far apart.
No, I'll agree.
Washington is making us seem like we are far apart.
I'll agree with you on that.
And so my biggest thing is I live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Period. That's why I went in the Coast Guard. That's why I was a teacher. And if we would take a look at everyone around us more in that aspect, I think we would get a lot further in life.
I can't disagree with any point that you just made right there. I would be considered a conservative or Republican. That's not my intent in doing this, though. I'm trying to set that down and do exactly what we're doing. That's why I never countered with anything. I want to hear and try to understand my fellow man. Does that make sense?
Very much so. We have to. We absolutely have to. That's the only way we're going to move forward.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, one, I thank you for what you're doing. It's good to get more voices out, and hopefully we can work to come together more than being separate. I advise people to, no matter what your political leaning is, look at what is actually being pushed. Look at what the actual goals are of the different legislation. If that goal is to isolate a group of people and separate them, that's probably not a good goal. If that goal is to improve the life and the betterment of everybody, then that's probably a better thing to go for. One of the things, if you look back in our history, and again, like I said, I'm a history major. You go back, right now our wages are stagnant. And if you go back and look at history of when wages were increasing, when our quality of life was increasing right after World War II, the ultra rich were being taxed at a 90+% rate. Now they're like down in the 20s or 30s. For us to have the money to do the things that we all want, better roads, better schools, better health care, I feel that's something we need to get back to. And because right now we're getting a bigger and bigger gap between the ultra rich and the working class. And that's not where we should be, in my opinion.
So it was Eric, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. So, I mean, as you can tell, me and Eric here, fundamentally at the core, have a lot of things that we absolutely agree on. But if we can't sit down and talk to each other and let, I believe, the media push the divide that we're seeing, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. I think we're going to continue to revert. But I appreciate thank you for your time, and most definitely thank you for your service. All right, I'm going to grab one more interview from the Republican side of this rally. What's your name?
Sergio.
Sergio, how do you feel about the left saying that Trump is a king and that we should not have kings in America?
We don't have a king. We have a president. Now, the lefties can call him their king because he reigns and rules in that mush pile of a brain they got going on. Can't do nothing about that. Because, I mean, you can't fix stupid. Okay? I mean, you got communistic, socialistic, crazy notions, left and right, but no substance. So let them yap and blah, 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 blah. What's it doing? I mean, 10 minutes from now, Donald Trump will still be president. 3 more years, he can be president or king or whatever they want to call him. And then J.D. Vance gets to be king.
How do you feel about the enforcement of the immigration policies and the mass deportations that they're doing?
For years, people have crossed that border. Okay? 3, 13, or 40. Never, ever has there been an organized, okay, numbers of people that gathered in town squares and city hall, whatever, up and down Central America to all in one nice little fluid motion. Come on. That wasn't just people looking to improve their lives. Those are people that were encouraged. And you be here at 2 o'clock. You be here at 4 o'clock. You be here, whatever.
I feel like the people as a whole, we're seeing a great divide just among the population of people, just regular people. Me and you are on the same page on, I'm sure, just about everything. But we're trying to go out and have conversations with people, no matter which side they're on. I'm not trying to contest their ideas. I'm just trying to ask questions and get answers.
Right.
I'm hoping that through that we'll see maybe some of this come back together and see some unity. You know, united we stand, divided we fall type thing. What do you personally believe would be good steps towards seeing the citizens reunited again?
That'd really be nice, but I don't see that happening. You got, for the last 10 years, longer actually, for the last 10 years, they've really been hitting it hard to divide the people. And if you get a certain segment, like them idiots, that are all fed fear, craziness, lies, twisted truths and lies, that's what they're going to go by. Until you can share truth without having somebody over here going, you can't share truth if somebody's going to be balking at it.
So we've all heard the buzzwords racist, fascist, tyrant. Do you believe that the average person on the right is any of those things?
Trying to help people out has often been laughed at as a Christian thing. Christian people don't care what color you are. They don't care if you're Baptist or Pentecostal or don't believe in God at all. A few years back, we had a tornado come through here. Church groups showed up to help people, and they didn't say, hey, are you Christian? We can't help you if you're not Christian. No, they didn't do that. They just showed up to help. A few years ago, we also had a flood over here in North Carolina. And the rumor was if they had a Trump sign, you kind of look the other way. Really? How's that bring people together? That's a division right there, and you're making use of somebody's hard time to grind something in. That was wrong. It's a big, big wrong no-no. Somebody should have paid for that with a good head bumping.
I'll end this with one more question. Do you feel that any one race or group of people has a leg up or an advantage to become successful in today's America?
Hard work, grit, determination. I wanna is how you get out there. I gotta want to get out of bed to go do something. I gotta want to put that shoe on, get ready to go. You got to go out the door. If you're told, don't worry about it, we got you, we're going to baby you along, then you're not going to get out of that bed. You're not going to put that shoe on. You're not going out that door. People have to work for what they get. And unfortunately, with different taxes and different things that make it harder, it's tough to make ends meet. But the people that try and then sit down and go, okay, this is what I have to work with, and they work with that, they do well for themselves.
Sergio, it's been great talking with you and seeing where you're coming from. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off here?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys did a good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. So, I mean, I don't know that it was necessarily productive in any kind of way, but I feel like we did make progress and we spoke to people.
Absolutely. I also felt like, even me personally, I learned some things. I mean, truly, even though ideologies confer or whatever, I still felt like everything was productive, and it definitely wasn't counterproductive. I don't think that we went in the wrong way in any direction. Maybe we could have pushed a little harder, but every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So by just staying peaceful and just asking questions, we were able to keep the peace in an environment like that.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to try to do more of these on the ground. I'm also, really open and willing to sitting at this table and having a conversation with the other side. I know we've got to get a following and some traction for the right people to be able to see it, but I think the wheels are in motion.
We do have a few things lined up, not to spoil anything.
Right. But I genuinely believe that the division that we see in our country right now, we're only going to see that divide narrow if we talk to one another. I don't see that changing without conversation.
No, if we keep just staying quiet and pointing the finger, things are only going to get worse. Truly, it's not even going to come to a standstill. It's just going to get worse.
Right. So that does it for this episode. And, remember, if you've got something you want to talk about, bring it to the table.
Thank you for stopping by, and see you at the table.